all know very clearly that in Nigeria today, food has a strong cultural dimension. And therefore, it's not difficult to come to the southwest and you find peculiar foods, amala, lafun, eba, and the rest of them. You go to the southeast, you find peculiar foods, akpu, and the rest of them also. You go to the north, you find your tuwo and the other variants. So there's a cultural dimension to it. The other thing again is that there is a quantity dimension to food in Nigeria. The average consumer does not believe in small food. You believe in food that is huge enough to show that you are eating. And the very third component of food in Nigeria is the fact that we do not seem to link it with growth. You know, the fact that we get hungry, we frequently think that it is the stomach that is hungry, when in reality, it's perhaps the brain, the eyes, the blood, the liver, the kidney that are hungry. They send the signal to the brain, then the brain sends the signal to the stomach to rumble and make you feel hungry. So when you eat, you're not eating for the stomach. You are eating for the body cells that are hungry. What this then means is that if you eat your food and the eyes fail to get the nutrients they require, your blood fails to get the nutrients it requires, and the same applies to other body organs, then that body is hungry even though you've eaten. That's what you call hidden hunger. So it's not by chance today that the federal government has been mandating the addition of essential nutrients into foods by food companies. So today you hear of vitamin A fortified sugar, flour, vegetable oil. You hear people talk about iodized salt, because iodine is the primary driver of our intelligence quotient. So if you want to build a Nigeria for the future, we should be looking at our gray matter development. That is what the president of African Development Bank has been saying. No country will grow if you don't invest in the development of your gray matter. So what's been happening here in Nigeria? A lot, I must confess. But let's just picture it very, very simply. You go to a typical restaurant in the US, in Britain, South Africa, or a few other advanced countries, and you ask for the menu. What you find on the menu will most likely be protein-based. So you talk of recipes like roasted chicken, right? You talk of steak and the rest of that, and they always have the accompaniment. Say with what? With rice, with French fries, and the rest. So their diet is a lot more protein-based. You come to Nigeria and you go to a typical restaurant here in Lagos. When you see food is ready, what you find is eba, gari, inyo, fufu. Then they will say with what? So you can see how culture has been affecting us. And if our food fails to add the value we need, if our food fails to develop our gray matter, nobody should be querying Nigerians why we've remained in the third world sector for this many years. We need to develop our intellect to be able to add value to the country. And so today, it's no longer news that the world over is looking at nutrition as a silent weapon to address crisis globally. If the brain is functioning very well, there are things you will not do. When the brain refuses to function, you may find yourself doing very abnormal things. When the brain is damaged, you take irrational decisions. And to be right, I wish we were able to show ourselves the brain of a child that has suffered from micronutrient malnutrition against the brain of a normal growing child, and you will see the difference. So there's a silent war today, and it's the war against crisis, and this has a lot to do with the food we eat.